So let us do a small activity. You can see a lot of words. Okay. First, you need to read the words parallelly or horizontally. Okay, but in a little faster, like
Okay.
yellow, blue, orange, black, red, green. Okay. Now I'll give you a different challenge. Rather than saying the word, you need to say the color. So in fact, our brain is in a conflict. Okay, so one part of your brain actually try to identify the words, and another part of your brain actually try to identify the color. Okay, so there is a famous theory called left brain, right brain theory. Rinju, you may be knowing this since you are from educational background. Okay, so what is the function of left brain and what is the function of right brain? So, I mean, there are a lot of theories. Okay, there is a lot of challenges for this theory, left brain and right brain. But this is developed by a person called Roger W. Sperry. So basically, it talks about two kinds of thinking patterns. Okay, so one is called we can say as a critical thinking, and one is called a creative thinking. Okay, so basically, there are two kinds of thinking. We can call as a divergent thinking and convergent thinking. Now, if you talk about a lot of innovations, most of the innovations are happening in the developed countries. For example, when US produces Apple or Microsoft, we are users. When Germany produces a BMW or a Volkswagen, we are users. When Japan produces a Honda or a Toyota, we are users. Even though we say we take a lot of pride that we are the largest exporter of software services, we are more into service. We are not into the product. What is the difference in product and services? So product is requires a lot of effort, and that is mostly more monetized than a services. Okay. So even our education system, okay, they don't focus on publications, they don't focus on patents, they don't focus on intellectual property rights. So both are needed. Am I right? You need to have a critical thinking and you need to have a divergent thinking. I mean, convergent as well as divergent thinking. Now, the beauty of design thinking is it leverages on both. Okay, so it leverages on both on certain important junctures. Okay, so I just want to show you this. So the lines which are expanding outwards. Okay, this is we will ask or we need to think divergently. The lines which are coming together, we need to think convergently. So there are a lot of tools we'll be using, something called journey mapping, value chain analysis, mind mapping, brainstorming, concept development, assumption testing, rapid prototyping, customer co-creation. So each tool, it will either actually trigger you to think divergently or think convergently. So let me repeat. Design thinking actually leverages on both kind of thinking, critical thinking as well as creative thinking. Both are needed, but both are needed at certain stages. So in some stages, we need to have open mind. We need to generate as many ideas, or we need to, their numbers will be more important. Sometimes quality, initially the quality will not be the most important criteria. But in some states, we need to shortlist few things. We need to think critically. We need to choose some from a lot of alternatives. There, okay, we need to apply our critical thinking skills or a convergent thinking skills. So let us start with the first stage of design thinking. This is called empathize. So let me start with the four words: pity, sympathy, empathy, and compassion. You might have heard these four words, but can you tell me what is the difference between these four words: pity, sympathy, empathy, and compassion? So let me share one example. Okay, I mean, personal example. So 5 years back, okay, so I was working in an IT company based out of Trivandrum. So I used to take my two-wheelers when I go to the office. So one day, okay, one car actually hit me from the back. Okay, so I was thrown out of the bike and I had a major fracture. Okay, in fact, later I realized that I had 8 fracture in my left leg. Still, like I have a lot of nails in my body. Now, once I fell down, okay, a lot of people gather around, and I was literally in the pain with a lot of blood. Okay, I cannot move a single inch. Now, I just observed few people in and around. Okay, I have seen some people just stopped and they go with their own, okay, maybe their schedules. They may be busy with something else. I have seen a lot of people, okay, who feel sad about me. I can see few people who I can see some people are like literally in the tears. Okay, they really see my pathetic condition. But I think after spending around 10 minutes in the road, okay, the two people came forward and they took me to the hospital. Okay. So what is sympathy? What is pity? What is sympathy? What is empathy? And what is compassion? Pity is I'm sorry for you. So just related to my experience, some people just saw me and say that, okay, yeah, of course I feel sorry for you, but I don't have a time to look about you. Sympathy is I can understand your pain, okay, but empathy is it is like how you feel the same pain, okay. Now I think 6 months back, okay, I after that I never took my two-wheeler, okay. I'm really scared of two-wheeler. So I was taking my car, okay. I have seen, okay, one guy met with an accident, that he was in the road, okay. Then suddenly, okay, my so I actually related to my experience, okay, what kind of pain, okay. So I took the initiative, I took him to the hospital. I was in the whole night because he does not want to inform the parents in the night, okay. So I was in the whole night for that particular person. So it's because I understand the pain, okay, I can really relate that pain, okay. So that is empathy. What do you mean compassion? Whether you will be able to take some action. It is not enough to be empathetic within another person. You need to take some action to solve the pain of the others. That is a compassion. That comes at the top of the pyramid. Okay. Now when it comes to the design thinking, we start with empathizing. We try to understand the pain points of the customer. Then we will end with compassion. We try to take some action to solve the pain of the customers. uh, Let us take a small test, okay. I mean, this test talks about how far you are empathetic, because empathy is very critical for design thinking. This is basically talks about understanding our own empathy level. So there will be few questions. So one request is that just read the questions and try to answer as fast as possible. If you try to think a lot, uh, the real empathy or real thing will not come out. You can just, I think only 10 or 11 questions. It can gives an idea, okay, how much empathy you have. So suppose it is not very easy to build empathy, okay. So why it is very hard to be an empathetic with another person? Can you tell me why it is very difficult? We find very few people to be really empathetic. Okay, so why it is very hard to be an empathetic? Certain professions require empathy, for example, counselors, social workers, doctors. But if you want to be a successful as a design thinker, we need to be very empathetic. I mean, empathetic in the sense, okay, we need to really understand, okay, the pains of the users. And it is not very easy to be empathetic because we live in a world, okay, where everybody is chasing their races, okay. We are achievement oriented, okay. We have a lot of pressure, we are stressful, okay. So we don't have enough time to think about other person, understand their emotional stages, because we are ourselves are really stressful. So some ways to build empathy, okay, active listening, okay. For example, since you rightly mentioned that, okay, in certain situation we need to be empathetic. You need to be artificially, you need to be empathetic, okay. We need to make sure that, okay, you be empathetic at that particular point of time. HR, okay. Since I'm with the L&D, okay, I know a lot of people, okay, who are not performers, okay, and we cannot afford such people to be long in the system. But we need to be empathetic and try to understand the challenges and give proper kind of guidance and share in others people. Look commonalities, read fiction, okay. So that is so nowadays our kids actually miss this thing, okay. I mean, we used to read a lot, okay. We try to visualize the pain of the characters. Nowadays our kids does not need any kind of visualization. They just switch on the TV. There is no kind of cognitive function is happening inside their brain, okay. Then pay attention to the base. This is very, I'm passionate about this subject, okay. But let us go back to the design thinking itself. Now I just want to show a small video. Maybe this will be the last video for today, I mean last session for today. um, As I said earlier, okay, it is very difficult to be empathic in the business, okay, because business is the main objective is profit maximization. One area where we need a lot of empathy is hospitals. Am I right? Now, normally, if we have some kind of disease, okay, we go to hospitals and private hospitals. And in private hospitals, patients are considered as customers, or they are the ways to get maximum profit. However, okay, if you go to the hospitals, a lot of times, if you go to the hospital, we go with a lot of stress, okay, a lot of emotional pain, but hospital does not understand our pain, okay, or they deal in a different way. So this is one beautiful video, and this is basically an advertisement, but I really like this video. You closely observe this video, and you should, after watching this video, so the end outcome is you observe this video. Okay.